to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that is being advised to be a bit patient. There's communication that you are eagerly awaiting. You want a resolution, and you haven't heard from this person. And I feel like you're wondering if you are ever going to hear from them. And this is saying, yes, you have to give them a little bit of time, but they do want to resolve this. They do want to see this get back to a better place. It's just a matter of, I think they need to work through some emotions or make some decisions that are a little bit difficult for them. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime chime. I hope you're having a great day. If you would like a personal reading, my email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And I've also recently launched memberships, and I do have a tier that includes a monthly reading. Hello, Key Controller. How are you doing? Let's start off with, this is the Morgan Greer. What else do we have? Five of Wands in the reverse, Devil, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is somebody who has been going through introspection or actually taking a look at their own issues, acknowledging that they might be a little bit overly cautious or a little bit like overly defensive of their independence. They may push people away if they feel they're getting too close, or they may lose their temper if they feel somebody is, kind of like questioning things they don't really want to talk about. So we have somebody that is looking at what they could do differently. I feel like this is your person that you're waiting to hear from. World in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands. So yeah, it is something that you were hoping that would have been resolved by now. It is irritating you, or you feel like there's a lack of closure. You're maybe not even sure if you're going to see or talk to this person again. And it's disruptive or uncomfortable for you, but it's going to eventually happen. This person is going to reach out, or this person is going to find a way to have that conversation with you, even though currently they're delaying it or procrastinating. Hello, Hello Yoga. Hello, Jay. How's it going? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Page of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is definitely something that has taken a long time, in part because something has happened to them while they were thinking about this. And I feel like it's been a difficult family situation, perhaps an argument, or even a problem with the law. So things have been rather complicated for this person. They may be dealing with some financial issues as well, but it's made it that much more challenging for them to consider what they really need to be working on right now. And as a result, you're probably thinking they're not working on anything at all. 10 of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Two of Cups. This person still loves you. This person still feels there's a long-term possibility of happiness with you, but they also are concerned if they come back around and it's not the right time, or they have the wrong approach, will they completely destroy whatever is left of this? It's probably a romantic connection, but it could be, for some of you, a platonic connection. Hello, Tiana. Hello, Aqua Beauty. How are we doing? Let's see. Justice in the reverse and the Three of Wands. They know they need to do something. They know they need to take action because they feel they were responsible. They may not have initially felt they were responsible, but they know now they owe you an apology. I do think at the outset, they were content to deny that they were the responsible party. They didn't really want to apologize or accept accountability. But at this stage, they're looking at it as there's really no way for me to recover this situation or resolve this problem unless I'm honest about that, unless, I show that I'm willing to work on the things that caused the issues in our connection. All right, this is the Fairy Lenormand. Hello, Deb, how are you? Well, hey, self-awareness is important. What else do we have? Number 20 and number 33. We've got the Garden and the Key. There's more than two people here. There's three people here. The Garden is reminding me that we have two triangles in the first two cards, and one of them is number 3. We've got Yield and the Recycle card. So I think there's 3 people involved in the situation. Now, does that mean that we have somebody who's cheating? Not necessarily. This could be, we've got a, romantic couple and they have an overly involved or hovering family member or a best friend. But there's a situation that is made more precarious because there are 3 people involved here where maybe there should only be 2. Hello, Louise. How are you doing? Number 2, the Clover. Number 18, the Dog. I love this. You're going to find out that somebody is loyal to you. So you're waiting to hear what's happening. You're waiting to hear what somebody wants to decide, or you're waiting to hear whether or not somebody's choosing you. This is somebody who is loyal to you. And I think they're realizing it's going to be difficult in could be friendship, but probably more likely it's a relationship. If I continue to let this person, this third party, be as involved as they are, or, distract me, they're acknowledging that they have enabled somebody to cause drama within your connection, and they don't need to do that. What else do we have? Main male and distant horizons. So I think this is the third party that is a little bit of trouble. Message of concern and marriage. Yeah, okay, so this feels to me like we've got somebody who is in a bit of an emotional affair. I think we've got somebody who has a strong relationship and loves their partner, but they tell a lot of information, or when things are not going well, they run to this friend and they tell them everything that's going on. This is somebody who may live at a distance, or this is somebody who's removed from the relationship, right, with that distant horizons. But the way it kind of feels to me is we've got probably a married couple or people who live together, and one of those individuals is really close with a platonic friend. Maybe that person doesn't see it as platonic. I do feel like they're loyal. I don't think that they're cheating, but because they're talking about all the negative elements of this relationship, we have this third party potentially causing some issues. Maybe saying, well, maybe you should be with me, or, this is what you should do instead. And we've got a loyal partner thinking to themselves, I've let this get out of hand. I need to be honest with this friend and tell them I'm in this relationship. I'm not going to end the relationship. So we've got poverty in the reverse, coffin in the reverse, and expectation. It's like, yeah, I may have been telling you that I had some difficult days, or I didn't know what was going on in terms of why my partner was acting differently, but I never told you that I was going to leave this person and be with you. We have somebody that's being honest with themselves about, what do I need to say to set things straight and make sure I'm being respectful towards my partner, and that this person realizes I'm not trying to do that. This is the Gold Foil Tarot. Hello, Lemonade. Hello, Khalil. How we doing? King of Cups in the reverse, the Magician in the reverse, and the Page of Swords. Yeah. It does feel to me like we've got two people looking at the same conversation through different lens. One person is feeling like I'm talking about the things that are upsetting, or, I was hoping that you were going to be like a friend to me. And the other person is feeling like, you're telling me that your relationship is ending. So I'm like waiting for the fallout and hoping that I get to shoot my shot. So same words, same conversation, different view of what it actually means. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Pretty appropriate, huh? We've got Judgment, Temperance in the reverse, and Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So I see now that I need to make a judgment call. I need to acknowledge that when I have difficulties in my relationship, when I'm having a difficult day and I don't feel like my partner is there for me, I might be sending the wrong signals if I go talk to this person who I thought was a friend, but maybe was taking things the wrong way, or was starting to feel like maybe I would leave this person for them. There's okay, I guess I need to maybe have a conversation and ensure that you know that I'm not going to end this relationship. So we've got the World and the Three of Swords with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. The World could indicate that this is a friendship online. But there's a disappointment from this individual when they realize that they're not going to be able to pursue you in a romantic sense, or pursue this Knight of Pentacles. Ten of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's not easy. It's probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I need to make clear what I want, and I need to take action that, ensures this friend of mine understands I'm not looking to leave this relationship and be with you. I'm happy in my relationship. So I feel like I'm either reading for the person who needs to have this conversation, or I'm reading for the person who's in that relationship, because you may be worried about whether or not this person is loyal to you, and they are. It's a matter of their mindset needing to change a little bit, because they thought that this was not really problematic. But now that they understand the perspective of the other individual, they see that it might actually be a problematic friendship. I bet that would be good. What else? Two of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, we've got somebody here who has a pretty serious relationship and another person on the outside who is hopeful they'll be able to make an offer. They want to be able to pursue this person who they consider a friend, but they feel wants to let go of this relationship. No worries, Tiana. Hello, William. How are you doing? Ten of Swords. And the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. The Nine of Pentacles, the person who's in this love triangle and has the friend, is telling the friend, if you are looking at this as like a prospect for your romantic life, then we probably should not be friends anymore. If you can actually approach this as a friend, then maybe we need to talk. But I think most of you are concerned that if you give that option, that they will continue to have the wrong perception or that there will be more drama down the line. So I think for the majority of you, this person, our Nine of Pentacles, is saying, I don't know if I should continue to be friends with you because it seems like you're expecting something that you shouldn't be expecting from me. Yes. So we've got the Queen of Wands in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse tells me that we have somebody that was wanting to get a little bit spicy, wanting to get a little bit flirty with this person in a relationship. And I think that's when things start to kind of go off the rails. That's when we have somebody that's like, okay, I think we need to have a talk because that's not what we're doing here. So it's like, I think we need to think about what you're investing and what I'm investing because, at the end of the day, if we have the wrong intentions or expectations, then it literally doesn't matter what I say to you and what you say to me because you're still operating with the wrong intentions. If you are always going to approach the friendship as, is it my chance? Can I pursue you now? Then that's like the background to the friendship. I think some of you end up just deciding, whoever the Nine of Pentacles is, end up deciding, I can't have this friendship because this person is not looking at it as a friendship. They're looking at it as like a prolonged precursor to dating. And that's going to always have issues, right? As a result, I think with the Ten of Wands and the Two of Wands in the reverse, you feel like you have to make the decision to end this because you are loyal to the relationship that you have. Yeah, Justice and the Ten of Cups. I'm going to put the Ten of Cups in the reverse. And honestly, whether it's upright or in the reverse, I feel like it applies because it's a clarity around what you want in terms of your domestic situation, who you love, who you want to be with. It's not the friend. It's the person you're in a relationship with. So with Justice, we have somebody making it very clear. Texting it, having a phone conversation, or even just saying, I'm going to have to probably block you because this doesn't seem to be aligned with the friendship I thought we were having. All right, this is the Poe Tarot. I don't read these in reverse, by the way. Hey, Upper Echelon, how's it going? What else do we have? Six of Quills or the Six of Swords. And the Knight of Wells, which is the Knight of Cups. We called it the River of Silence, for there seemed to be a hushing influence to its flow. So you know that things will be more calm or things will be easier within your relationship if you don't have to deal with the complication of this third party. Letting go of that friendship also means you don't have to navigate potentially treacherous waters if this person doesn't want to respect your boundaries. So you've got the Knight of Wells, which is the Knight of Cups. As a thing of art, nothing could be more admirable than the painting itself, but it could have been neither the execution of the work nor the immortal beauty of the countenance, which had so suddenly and so vehemently moved me. This person fell in love with you, and I think they knew they shouldn't. But there is something about how you look, or maybe you're exactly their type, that made them kind of disregard whatever warnings they may normally have listened to. This is why the friend kept feeling like there was a chance or there was a justification for them to pursue um, someone who's in a relationship. We've got the Hermit. Not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude. Yeah. I think you've realized there's some merit to processing the issues that you're dealing with, maybe with different people. If I have an argument with you, I should talk to you about it, and maybe I'll talk to fewer people, or at least not that person, about it, because it doesn't seem to actually help. It only causes more issues in our connection. So a little bit of an amendment to how they handle things, because the Nine of Pentacles appreciates that they need to be respectful of a relationship, and they don't want there to be any, somebody out there who expects things to be different, expects things to get romantic. Knight of Pentacles. High Priestess and the Three of Cups. Yeah. So we've got this determination to be a little bit more, it's like this Knight of Pentacles makes me feel like, let's sleep on it. Let's take a little bit of time. Do I really need to talk to somebody? Is that the right person to talk about that with? So we have somebody appreciating, where do I get wisdom from? Is it better to, just talk to my therapist about this, or just talk to my partner about this? The wisdom of, how do I share my information and how do I make my decisions? I need to make sure that it is respectful of my relationship. With the Three of Cups, starting to acknowledge that friend on the outside was not necessarily a respectful connection once they know what the intentions are of the other person, right? What else do we have? Knight of Swords, Justice in the reverse, and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so we've got somebody who feels absolutely stuck, because now you've told them that they can't be your friend because they have this desire, but they also can't really deny that they want to be more than friends. So when you end this friendship, or when you walk away, even though it feels like you are able to, get a sense of relief, or you feel like it was the right choice, you may have some not so nice reactions to it, right? All right. Let's get a few from What's the News? What else? Chained, codependency, unhealthy attachment, weighed down, machismo, masculine pride, toxic masculinity, meeting manly expectations. Yeah, kind of feels to me like the friend had an unhealthy attachment, saw something in your friendship that wasn't really there. We've got light bulb moment, sudden realization, feeling inspired, insightful awareness, tiptoeing, avoiding, getting caught, acting shady, sneaking around. Yeah, they were hoping you were going to get to the point where you wanted to sneak around, and you have this light bulb moment where you're like, oh, like I literally thought we were friends and you're over here like planning a date. We've got knocked up, pregnancy, expecting, and mothering. And play. I don't like this. So this person who's a friend that had the unhealthy attachment, I feel like they specifically go for people who have children or people who are caretakers, right? So they like breaking up relationships. If you're already taking care of someone, then you could probably take care of me too. Oh gosh, your red flags are showing. See, I knew it, Tiana. Yep. Skirt, quick getaway, the runner, escaping, and penny pinching. Yeah, this feels to me like the friend who really wanted to be more than a friend was hoping to create a wedge in this relationship and be with that person themselves because they want to be taken care of. Why? Because they don't have as much money as they would like. Maybe they want to live there. Maybe they just want somebody to cook for them. I don't know. But this is somebody who wants a caretaker. You already do it for someone else. We'll just knock them out of the picture and I'll take their place. It's not going that well. It's not going their way. They're getting kicked out. Well, or blocked, I guess. All right, let's get a few from the Hidden Truth Oracle. Hello, Ivan. How are you doing? Hello, James. What's happened? Ning. Hello, what's up, Midwest Galaxy? I hope you're having a good day. Hey, that's fair. We probably can't be friends. I'm just kidding. All right, so we've got, I left you before you could leave me. I hope that you can forgive me one day. We need to let each other go. And you don't know how hard it is to let you go. I gotta be honest, this feels to me like this friend is like creating in their mind what this person in the relationship, the Nine of Pentacles, is thinking. It's like, okay, so you just basically had to leave or you had to cut things off with me because you felt like I wasn't going to stay. It's like they're trying to be superior about it. And then dealing with the fallout like on their own, like I'm just going to pretend that everything's fine. Or, I'm sure you actually did have feelings. You just don't know how to admit to it. They're a little bit obsessed with themselves, to be clear. Whoever this friend is. It's time for me to heal now. I know I was a distraction from your pain. I think they get just like condescending. Like the rejection doesn't really look good on them. They really make it clear that it's the right choice for you to let go of this connection, that they weren't really caring about your situation more than to the point of, okay, are you done with that relationship then? Because now it's my turn. So yeah, I think you're just basically validated, right? You go to cut off the connection or you go to tell somebody, what's going on and they're kind of like a jerk to you. Key. They keep saying your name. We've got sharp insight, opportunities, and hidden potential. Dagger, action, bravery, determination. So you understand, it says sudden realization. So I think something they say, the friend, basically makes you aware, okay, so you're basically trying to date me and you didn't really communicate that, or I maybe need to be more clear about the fact that I'm not interested in this turning into something romantic. So when you tell the truth, when you have that conversation, it really does change the mood. It changes the attitude, and this person's true colors come through. And I think you realize, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not going to need this friendship. Because I think they were kind of faking the whole time. Mirror labyrinth, illusions and reflections. Who are you trying to fool? When you turn your back to the mirror, there's still someone looking at you. So this is someone who was trying to make everything about you. They didn't want to maybe tell as much about themselves, or they wanted it to seem like they were super caring. They might have been love bombing, but this sabotaging relationships card is interesting because it's a lot less about I'm in a relationship and I'm going to sabotage that. This is absolutely, I see a relationship and I'm going to sabotage that because I want that person, which is a whole different kind of karma. Dang. All right, this is the Earth and Bone Oracle. What else do we have? Rider, R-I-D-E-R. Number 12, movement, quick decisions, progress, and excitement. And 26, the key. That's 3 keys that have come out. I think I only have like 5 of them total. So we've got somebody who is responding to what they need to do after initially realizing or thinking it wasn't really an issue. Inner calling, clarity, resolve, intention, and objective. So I know I need to protect my relationship. I know that I intend to be loyal to my partner, and I don't want a relationship with this friend on the side. So I'm going to go and have a difficult conversation and end that friendship and preserve or, show that I respect my relationship. Wait, what just happened? Oh, Lord. Yes, it is. They're everywhere. Anyways, all right, let's get a few from, we're going to go with the Overthinker's Oracle. What else do we have? Please don't go. Wait for me. I'm afraid to commit. They were a downgrade. So this friend who wants to be more than a friend, they want to be more than a friend, maybe in a physical sense, but they don't like to commit, which, shocker, might be why they go after people who are already in a relationship. And there's somebody that they've dated after they talk to you, or there's somebody that they had as a realistic option that just paled in comparison to you. So they were really hoping that they were going to find a way. Always deleting your messages, huh? Have I said hello to Voyager? How's it going? So we've got, I'm hiding my emotions and I will love you until the end of time. This friend did fall in love. They thought that they could hide those emotions, but they said something that caused the friendship to kind of implode. I know who you are to me. I know we are supposed to be together. Um, this is coming across more as obsessive than introspective. Being away from you hurts, and I feel like God is punishing me. So they're not taking it very well. They do seem to have a little bit of an illusion here or delusion that built up this like future with you that isn't going to happen because that's not what you're interested in and you want to stay in this relationship that you're in. So that's why I think the separation probably makes sense moving forward, you know? All right. This is the Zodiac fortune telling cards. Hello, Selena. How are you doing? What's up, Laura? Oops. You will suffer a great loss, but will overcome your grief. I think this is saying you lose out on this friend, but you realize that you're not really missing out on that much because the friendship was a bit fake when they had different intentions than you expected. Success in business is in store for you. Be careful of a serious flirtation. You need self-confidence, otherwise you will lose. This I feel is really important in terms of your business success. A family grief, and you will soon go on a long trip. So we've got a suitcase, safe travels, and we've got lucky number 18. Ooh. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the memberships. Hope you all make it to the next reading. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? And I'll see you on that next reading. Doodles.